This first one says the age of consent is so low because your government is full of pedals. I hope y'all know that. I know it's not supposed to be funny, but it is true because a lot of people, when it comes to like Hollywood and stuff like that, they love children because they love the innocence of them. They love the naivety of them. They love how small they are. They just like how babyish and stuff like that is. Especially when they wait till like a certain age to date them because they know in their head it's wrong. And then, or they do the thing where they like, oh, I dated her at 18 and stuff like that. And it's like, it's still weird because like she just came out of high school and her brain's not developed. It's just weird. And it is low because I feel like it doesn't have any business being 16. I feel like the age of consent needs to be 17 or 18. It does not need to be 16 because it's like just so weird. Just think about you. You're literally in 11th grade and there's some weirdo that wants to date you. And I'm not saying 16-year-olds are inexperienced, but they are inexperienced. Like, they might think they know everything, but they really don't. They're just learning what they know from the internet or from what they see at home or what they see when they're outside. They don't really know the world yet. At least at 18 you might have like some sense of direction, but at 16 you don't really have much direction. Well, that's just my opinion. So yes, I would say it's very weird and it's like very inappropriate for the age of consent to be 16 because I know in like some places the age of consent is even lower than 16. Like I know in Germany the age of consent is 14. I know that some places you can get married in states like I think like Mississippi you can get married like the lowest 12. Maybe you need parental consent, but I know it's definitely 12 over there. It's weird. And that brings up a lot like child marriages, which is a whole different topic. Then this one says, it says, y'all think we miserable with kids, but this shit really fun. LOL, y'all miserable without them. I promise I promise you we are not miserable without kids laughing our ass off. Personally, I agree with this because when I look at this situation, I feel like people that, like, when it comes to kids and all that stuff, like, if you want them or not. Personally, I don't want kids. Like, I thought about it. I really realized that when it comes to kids, I feel like people mostly look at the outer layer of kids. Like, they're cute, they're fun, they're small, and all that stuff. But now that I look back on it, I kind of realize I don't want to be a mother and I don't want kids. And also just due to the fact that they're very annoying, they're very time consuming, they're very needy, they're very loud, they cry, they pee, you have to change diapers, you have to discipline them. If they don't turn out good, you're gonna get the blame for it. You can do all of this and you don't really get anything in return for it. I mean, maybe if you're lucky, you get like a kid and all that stuff, and they like take care of their parents or whatever. But you might not. I mean, they might put your ass in a nursing home and you'll never be seen again. You will never know. Having kids is such a gamble and you don't get a damn thing out of it. It's just not for me because I feel like, especially when it comes to women, they always like to pressure them, and when they don't want it, they like, well, you're selfish. And it's like, no, you're selfish for having kids because you knew that you didn't want them, you didn't care for them, you would neglect them, you would abuse them, you wanted to live your fast life, and you wanted to drink, party, smoke, do this, that, and the third. You wanted to leave them with whoever, whenever. You wanted to beat them, whatever. Because you know you deep down do not care for these kids. You just had them just to have them. You had them because you were pressured to have them by societal people, by your family or whatever. Because if you didn't have them, you looked at us really big. Oh, why don't you have kids when everybody else has? And then if it's not that, it's the whole thing of like, oh, repopulation. It's like people are opening their legs and spreading it wide open every day. You don't have to worry. We have like 8 billion people in the world. There's going to be another fool spreading their legs to have another child that they probably can't take care of. Let's be very honest on that. Especially people who know they have kids and then know they don't want to have those kids, and then leave their responsibility to other people, and then they get very entitled when it comes to that, and then expect you to help take care of them kids when you know that you have nothing to do with that. But just because you're a family, they think that you should help them out, and then they manipulate you into helping them take care of their kid when you have no responsibility and you can literally jack shit out of that. I hate that, to be honest, because it's not fair to that person. And anyone who does that to somebody, they can literally drop that in my book. because it's not fair to them. They should be able to live their lives not having to worry about somebody else's kid that they did not upgrade. Personally, I believe that if you have no responsibility, because I personally believe that if you have a kid and you make someone else take care of the kid and they're not doing anything to take care of that kid that you have passed on to everybody else, you get what you deserve. Because at the end of the day, no one should have to take care of somebody else's mistake because they decided that they wanted to fuck around and find out, and it did. And then on top of that, make them take care of the responsibility that they don't have the responsibility to take care of because it's not their kid, not their responsibility, and not their problem. And then when they decided they wanted to take care of it because it's not their problem, y'all make them feel bad, you add pressure onto them, and then you try to turn it into their problem. And then you act like an entitled asshole, doing literally the bare minimum of not having to take care of your kid. And doing literally nothing so you can have the freedom to do what you want to do, run around and act like a damn asshole. There's also that aspect of it. And let me just say, it's going to come back and it's going to haunt you when that child is older or when you're older. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done and you've gone out and you've done all of that foolishness, let's be honest, that person is not going to help you anymore. They're not going to care. They're not going to look their way. They're not going to care about all those threats or those nice things that you did for them when they were literally little, can do anything for themselves, or when you decided to take care of them because you were their sibling or whatever. They're not going to care because at this point they're fed up, they're grown, they don't care. They already know they wasted half of their lives having to take care of something that was not theirs, and they're not going to want to do that again and over again. And then having to constantly deal with their disrespect, the parents' disrespect, and literally the knowledge that if the person really wanted to, they could literally give their child, because again, it's their child, to them, leave and never be returned. And then they'll have to deal with their own kid that they created, not forcing somebody else that did not create that child to have to take that pressure for no reason. Because I've seen it firsthand, and let me tell you something, it's not pretty. It's very stressful financially, emotionally, and mentally, and physically, and spiritually, and it's not fair. Personally, don't ever judge somebody because it's going to come back onto you 10 times fold, and it's going to hit you, and it's going to hit your kid, and it's going to hit your family, it's going to hit everybody. Just don't do it. It's not fair. I would never wish that on my worst enemy because I've been there, done that, and it was the worst experience ever. And I am so happy for when that person takes their child and the universe deals with them however they choose to. Happiest day of my life. Because I know I don't have to deal with any of them anymore. Not the parent, not the child, not the family. No. I don't have to deal with any of the asses. I'm sorry for ranting. This one says cheating isn't just sex. It's anything in your phone that you know your significant other would not like you saying, you out of line, flirting through text messages and entertaining other females on more than what your other would like. It's cheating, especially if having. Personally, I agree with this evermore. I personally agree that when it comes to cheating, anything emotionally, physical, spiritual, mentally, is literally cheating. Like if you as a person can't go up there and show a text message to your significant other, or post this text message, or put it on a poster board, or put it on a billboard, or you have to hide it, or you can't show your own mother, you can't show your own child, anything like that, that is cheating. If you're hiding it, it is cheating. If you're making it look like it's no big deal, like you're making the person go crazy and everything, it's cheating. Like if you have to hide it, it's cheating. You have to defend yourself, it's cheating. Like if it's flirty, it's cheating. If it's sexual, it's cheating. Like I don't know how to wrap it in head. Like I'm sorry, but like it is cheating. I don't care. Like if it's something that it's like basic or whatever, it's something that you ask a best friend, something that you ask somebody like neighborly or whatever, or like a sibling or whatever, that's not cheating. But if it's something that you would like, like sexual, it's promiscuous, it's very vulgar or whatever, it's cheating. I don't care if it's innocent. If it's innocently, it's cheating. If it's flirting, it's cheating. Like if you have to hide it, it's cheating. Can't show it, it's cheating. Defend it, it's cheating. If you're getting like very pissy over it, it's cheating. if it's something that you know deep down would bother your significant other, it's cheating. If it's something that you know deep down that you would not want someone to do to you, it's definitely cheating. Like, if you had a text message that you knew that if your significant other sent to another person and you saw it and you would lose your shit and you do the same thing, it's cheating because you know you don't want them to do what you're doing to them. It's cheating. Because yes, physical cheating is there, but there's also a line between emotional cheating. Like, and when people open up doors for it, or they don't communicate, or they don't talk to, or they're like putting out their business to like other people, that opens doors. And first, I'm thinking like, how was telling another person your partner's business, your partner's relationship gonna fix your relationship? It's gonna open doors or it's gonna break your relationship. Like, if you can't be with someone and communicate, you have no business being with that person, because if you don't communicate, they're not gonna know because they're not a mind reader. The only way you can fix your relationship is if you and the person can fix it and talk to each other and make changes and fix the patterns and not do certain things again, or just change it so it's like if you're doing something that they don't like, you don't do it again, or you change the behavior, or you do something new, or you spice your relationship up, or do something new. What you would do is that you change it or you fix it or whatever. Don't go out there telling Sally your relationship business, because number one, your relationship is going to be very hard to be broken, because it's kind of like, it's not even kind of like, it's like, for example, say something happened to your relationship, right? You and your partner got into a fight. Why would you go and tell Sally down the street that you and your girlfriend got into a fight? How she gonna fix it? It's not gonna fix it. All Sally's gonna do is probably try to ruin it and break it up. And then after that, when your partner finds out that you told Sally your relationship business, she's not gonna trust you, because it's kind of like, if he's out here telling Sally our business, what else is he out here doing? And then there's the trust aspect of it. Like, for example, you guys get into an argument about something, like he does something that you don't, that he does something you don't like. You talk to him so you can like fix it. Like, for example, let me think. Like, say he forgets. Say, I don't know. Ugh. Let me say he doesn't call you back a certain time or whatever. You talk to him, communicate or whatever, and like, or he forgets to text you at a certain time or whatever. You talk to him, communicate, fix it, and then next time he will like text you at that time. And if he doesn't do it or whatever, and he chooses not to, and he repeatedly like does it or whatever, or the behavior doesn't change, or he's making no effort, or he doesn't fix it, or he does it again and again and again, or he isn't like being a good boyfriend, or he isn't changing, then you have all it to dump him. Like, if the behavior isn't changing, the attitude isn't being fixed, or whatever, or you're giving him too many chances, or whatever, and he isn't becoming better, he's not fixing, he's not changing, he's not becoming a better person or whatever, you have all right to dump him. But I'm just saying, just communicate. And usually when you communicate, he will hear you out. And he will be like, you know, babe, I hear you. You have all right to be mad. And I know this happens a lot or whatever, but not happens a lot. But I don't mean to say like happens a lot. What I mean to say is like, something happens, something happens, you talk to him, you communicate, you fix it. Might happen a few times or whatever, I don't know. You communicate, you fix it, or whatever. And the thing is, he can make the choice to keep doing it, fucking around, and lose you, or he can make the choice to like fix it, or something might happen, or like it might be like innocent little things, like things keep happening and like miscommunication or whatever, or things keep happening and it's like broken or whatever, and the relationship get fixed. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know what I'm doing right now. And then this post basically talks about how men are selfish. And let me tell you something. This is 100 accurate. This is 100 accuracy. This is very accurate. Take her advice, and I mean it. Personally, I have brothers I've been around men. Let me tell you, this is very true. Like it could literally be men and women. Like a woman. No, like a woman will cheat on a man. That man will leave you. Never be seen. A woman will get you on a man. And no, a man will cheat on a woman, and then she will stay there until like my kingdom comes, and something literally has to shake her and let her be shooketh for her to leave. I don't know what it is about women, but I think there's like this theory that why it happens is because women have this thing of like, oh, I can change him, I can mold him, I can make him better. When in reality, is you can't change him, you can't mold him, you can't fix him. He has to want to fix himself, and if he can't fix himself, then he don't need to be with you. And that's the thing. I can give you thousands of episodes where like a woman will like make the tiniest mistake when it comes to a man. The man would drop her for anything. He will go huff and puff and act like a big bitch and all that stuff, and will never talk to her again. No forgiveness or anything. But when it comes to a man, y'all gotta be forgiven to him and do all of this and kiss and do this and kiss his ass and blah. But a man, and it comes to his attitude, they have these like fucking big ass egos and we're like, you have to forgive me, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to be his mother, you have to and it's like no. Personally, I say when it comes to women and everything, you need to start acting like the men a little bit when it comes down to being selfish. Like, be selfish. Like, personally, I'm a very selfish person at times. Like, I'll even be told that I'm selfish by certain people, and they be like, oh, you're so selfish. And it's like, yes, I'm selfish. I was raised around men. I've seen them be selfish. I've seen them self-preserve themselves. I've seen them put their self first. I've seen them do awful things just for self-preservation, just to keep their asses afloat. And that's what I'm gonna do, because I'm not gonna be like these women that are stupid and dumb and want to forgive and love and peace and rainbows. Like, no, these are the men, they saving themselves. They putting their asses first. They're putting their, don't marry, they're, like, I'm just saying, don't be like these dummies, because there will be men that are literally married who will put their marriage on the back burner to do whatever they want. And they don't care. They don't care. The wives will be crying and all this stuff. They don't care. So I'm telling you, the woman out there, be selfish like the man. And I'm not gonna lie, there are good men out there, but I'm just saying, for these women, they like listen to these men and all that stuff. Be selfish. Don't put yourself in no situationships. Watch his actions. Watch how he moves and stuff like that. Because like if he's not putting out the work, he's not putting out the effort. Like he could be giving you all these cute little compliments and all stuff, but like if he's not putting out the effort, you don't need to be with him. For what? Nice words? I could read myself affirmations. Like, be on to bigger things. Like, if he's not planning dates, he's not doing this, if he's not doing that, then how do I need him for? If he's not, being romantic, he's not being loving, he's not being caring, he's not being kind, he's not making time for you, he's not, being a good boyfriend or whatever, you don't need to be with him. Like, there were men, like, there's an old saying, there are men that will literally move heaven and earth for you, and you out with this man that is always gonna put him as his needs first, and you last. You need to find someone that will move heaven and earth for you, and if he's not the one, then he's not the one. So yes, I may be selfish, but I'm doing it because if I'm not selfish and I'm not self-aware, I will get my ass kicked, beat, or whatever, just to stay nice and kind. But no, I'm gonna be selfish, I'm gonna be self-aware, and I'm gonna put myself first, because when you don't, that's how you end up. And last but least, this is probably one of my favorite ones. But let me tell you about this. When you're a mother and you have children, you have a husband, and all that stuff, or just a woman in general, things will never be 50-50. Just due to the fact that there are things that women go through that men will never understand. Just how things that men go through that women will ever understand. But right now we're on motherhood. So basically, it says you want your wife to conceive children, breastfeed those children, take care of the house, and provide for half of the household income while you just provide for your half. I really don't think you understand how much that's not 50-50 will never be. Which is very much true. Having children and having to provide half of the income and cook and clean and all that stuff is never going to be 50-50 just due to the fact that men will never understand what it is. Especially if you have things such as like postpartum. They're not going to understand. Like, there are literally cases in where it gets so bad where the mother can't even be around the kid because of how bad her postpartum is. Because people also forget that postpartum isn't just depression, it's also anger too. Because sometimes the hormones are like so bad that it can cause the mother to like kill her kid because of like how bad the anger she has is. And people never forget to talk about that. And then on top of that, motherhood is very exhausting. Like, it's tired. You just push the whole human being out of you. Now you have to focus on healing your body and all that stuff. And then on top of that, they expect you to go back to work and all that stuff. Like, that's exhausting. And that's probably never gonna happen because, like, you have to take time. Like, for example, fun fact, you have to wait literally 6 weeks before you can actually start having sex again. And I just want y'all to know that. And then on top of the whole like economic thing doesn't really work because like you need your time for your body to heal. And when your body heals, your mind heals. And that's gonna take a good chunk of time because when you take time off of work and everything, you're on maternity leave, you need to like get yourself back together. And that's not gonna be able to happen if you're worried about this, that, and the third. Like what she should be worrying about is her child and herself, not worrying about the bills. Because that should be the man's job because he's not the one pushing out them kids. He's not the one killing himself. He's not the one going through all these emotions and all that stuff. He should be the one worrying about that stuff. It's not 50-50. It's literally like 80-16 at this point. And that's just motherhood. Just imagine what it's like being like a regular girl and having like whatever. That's also very different when you have like periods and just being a girl in general. You have those emotions and all that stuff, and then he's like a guy. He has all of these like hormones, like testosterone and all that stuff, and how the brain works for women and the brain works for men. Like, fun fact: did you actually know that men's brain develop slower than women because of the fluorocornal fun sex and how it works? I didn't even know that. And then there's like people that talk about how like men's happiness comes from like this and women's happiness comes from this and women will do this to change a man, but man, when he truly wants to make you happy and all that stuff, he shows it through like spoiling you, loving you, taking care of you, all that stuff. But when it comes to women and all that stuff, like, they're more forgiving, but men aren't as forgiving. Just basic differences like that. But no one ever talks about them because of like feminism equality. And I'm not saying that men and women can be equal and they're not equal. Like, yes, as I was saying, like, if there was a fight because of all the muscle mass and all the because of all the muscle mass and all like the body and the bones. I forgot what it's called. My head is hurting me, but it's like basically all the muscle in the body mass and all that stuff, and the muscle mass that he produces versus a woman. She doesn't have as much as that. Like, women have more fat on their body. There is a higher chance, 9 out of 10 percent, he probably would because the body, the muscle that he produces, the muscle mass, and the bones usually stronger, while the woman has like, more fat. It's gonna outweigh, and she's gonna get her ass kicked. No offense to her, but it's just basic biology. same reason, like, when you go to school and stuff like that, and, like, certain things happen, like, there's 9 out of times out of 10 he's gonna win. And I'm just in biology talking, in science and all that stuff. That's just us talking. And if y'all don't like that, y'all don't believe in science, y'all don't believe in facts, y'all don't believe in biology, then that's your problem. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.